video, we are going to discuss the important diagrams from the examination perspective. Though each and every diagrams are important, but there are some diagrams which frequently appear in exams and thus make an edge over the other. Direct diagram based questions take an essential part of every exam and can help in fetching you maximum marks, thereby improving your percentage. Diagrams should be drawn neatly with the help of a pencil and a ruler and should be well labeled. Thus, you should have hands-on practice on various important diagrams. In science, there are total 16 chapters, out of which 10 chapters are there from which you can expect diagram-based questions. Let us take these 10 chapters one by one and see what are the important diagrams in them. So, coming to the chapter Chemical Reactions and Equations, the most important diagram is the electrolysis of water. Then, in the chapter Acids, Bases and Salts, experimental setup for acid-metal reaction is important, in which hydrogen gas is evolved when an acid reacts with metal. Coming to chapter Metals and Non-Metals, you can be asked diagram-based questions on electrolytic refining of copper, in which refining of copper is done with the help of electricity. Now, let us come to one of the important chapters, that is life processes, in which questions coming directly from the diagrams are highly probable. Human alimentary canal and human respiratory system are very important diagrams of these chapters. The labels shown for the system are very important and should not be missed, else you will face deduction in the marks. Next, from this chapter, you could be directly asked to draw the section view of human heart. Another important diagram is of double circulation in humans, where you can be asked to explain this process along with the diagram. Also, very simple and direct diagram based question can appear from the excretory system in humans. You could also be asked to draw the structural and functional unit of kidneys, in which you have to draw the diagram of nephron. In the chapter Control and Coordination, the most important diagrams are the structure of neuron and human brain. All the labels are very important in both the diagrams. Now, let's move on to the chapter How do organisms reproduce? This chapter has two sections, asexual and sexual reproduction. So, in asexual reproduction, the important diagrams are binary fission in amoeba, budding in hydra, spore formation in rhizopas, and regeneration in planaria. Now, in sexual reproduction in plants, you can get to draw the section view of reproductive structure of plant, that is flower. Another highly important diagram from this topic is of germination of pollen grains on stigma and fertilization. Moving on to the sexual reproduction in humans, you could be simply asked to draw the structures of male and female reproductive systems. The parts shown for both the diagrams are highly important. You should also be aware of their functions. In the chapter Human Eye and the Colorful World, you could be asked to explain using a ray diagram how a myopic or hypermetropic eye can be corrected using a lens. The important labels of both the corrected eye are as shown. Also, from this chapter, the question can come on explaining dispersion of white light using a prism with the help of a diagram. Even a diagram-based question can appear from the phenomena of rainbow formation. The next important diagram from this chapter is the ray diagram depicting the reddish appearance of sun during sunrise and sunset. The question on this would be very direct, like explain why the sun appears reddish during sunrise and sunset. Now, in the chapter Electricity, only one diagram is important, and that is the experimental setup for Ohm's law. In the chapter Magnetic Effects of Electric Current, You could be asked to draw the magnetic field lines around a bar magnet or a current-carrying straight conductor. Also, a diagram-based question from this chapter can be framed on the construction and working of an electric generator. Lastly, from the sources of energy, the two very important diagrams are the solar cooker and the biogas plant. A very direct question on the construction of solar cooker can come. Also, you could be asked to explain the process of biogas generation from the biogas plant. Also, light is another very important chapter full of ray diagrams. You should be thorough with the ray diagrams of the image formation by the spherical lenses and spherical mirrors. So, practice these important diagrams as many times as you can to score well in your exams. Hope you found this video helpful. All the very best for your exam preparations.